So originally there was a couple of us who wanted to start training just kind of by ourselves, and we thought we'd probably need a team name because we had someone matched for a fight. One of the lads was a Japanese lad called Keshi, and we said, it'd be really cool because we've all got a bit of an affinity for Japanese martial arts and Japanese fighters. If come up with a name, came up with a couple of different ones. And the one that was probably the second easiest to pronounce and wasn't used by someone else was Fulling Kazan. I added the team on there because I wanted that emphasis that we are a team. It's not a single unit, it's not people looking out for themselves. But the word Fulling Kazan definitely has quite a high importance in Japanese culture. The team originally was 4 of us, and then a few people started to join. The first person who ever competed as a Team Fulling Kazan person is Keshi Maeda, the guy who came up with the name, who fought in the Quantum Inter Club back in it must have been 2004. So yeah, and then from there we've kind of grown. People have joined us. It was still relatively small at that point. No one really knew what mixed martial arts was. You get like karate guys and judo guys just wanting to have a go, and then you get guys who just wanted to tell people they were a cage fighter. So it was a very interesting time.
I met Mark on the internet, which in 2001 was risky, and it was a Tuesday night in I think it was October time, and I'd seen him on SF UK, which is a now long gone disbanded forum, and I saw he was from Bradford, and so we started training in a ring made of carpet with rope. But when we started, it was me and him, and there was no Fulling Kazan. There was 4 of us in that first class, and then we started training with Darren Good, Tom Harris, Tony Devine, and it was still cross-training, Jeff Thompson influenced, for me anyway, type stuff. We used to train with Darren and Helen, Andy Williams in Huddersfield, Les Allen in Halifax, so it wasn't all under one roof, so people now are kind of spoilt for choice a bit, I think. It is a family atmosphere, and I'm not saying that other gyms don't have that, because when I've been other places they do as well, but the consistent numbers of young talent that comes through is brilliant, and the way that the fighters approach the game and the way they hold themselves quiet, humble, is a credit to Mark, I think. There's no attitude, massive ego. It's a proper martial arts club.
Me and Mark have been together for 7 years, just about, I think. And I didn't even know MMA existed when we first got together. So it seems to just grown and grown. I think Mark's passion is infectious and everybody just seems to gravitate towards it. I do a lot of the general sort of admin stuff, accounts and things like that, just making sure that everything sort of ticks along. But now I've actually started doing the classes, I'm starting to enjoy doing that side of it as well, so we both get to play now as well. So I've always been interested in from when I first found out about it, but I think I always needed a little bit of a push to actually get involved in it. So when we did the women's MMA course, I really enjoyed doing that, and it's just made me want to take it further, really.
I'm really pleased with what we're doing here. I'd upgrade us against other gyms. I think we're quite lucky where we've got some really good affiliations with teams like Combat Base, Eric Paulson, Abiani, the ACC guys over in Japan. So we've created some really good, solid foundations. Where we are sort of on a national scale, I think we're still relatively quite small. We're probably known by quite a few people, but we're still building up towards that pro level kind of fight. I mean, I fought pro for quite a few years, but we're now kind of getting a lot of our guys who've never competed before, and we've developed all the way through. So hopefully in the next 2 years we get some guys into the likes of like Cage Warriors, Bama, and some of the European promotions as well.
First time I sort of came down to the gym, met Mark at a show over in Batley, and he sort of pretty much said to me, you can come over anytime you want. Thought it was somewhere where I felt I fit in. Really welcoming bunch of guys, many of them still training here now, and just Spencer as a coach, just really good knowledge base, and sort of point me in the right direction, corrected any mistakes that I was making, and really helped me to grow as a fighter and then eventually as a coach. In every aspect, as a coach, as a friend, and kind of like a big brother, he's sort of been able to set me aside when I'm doing things right, say, okay, let's work on this. When I'm doing things wrong, he's been able to do the same. Just can't really, you know, say enough about how much he's always been there for me as a fighter and like now as a coach, and I know he's the same for all these guys. It's a real positive environment, you know. A lot of the guys have come up through the team and they've understood that the guys who sort of came before them, it was a case of if I get better, that's all well and good, but if I can help you get better, then ultimately I grow as a fighter as well, you know. Sharing techniques, sharing skill sets, you know, people improve. Then, you know, if I've got a submission, I keep catching it. If I sort of hide it for myself, it's not really testing it. If I show you it, and then you say, okay, well, what if I do this? Then I find that, you know, I've got to sharpen up on my technique. It may even make it better. So it's a real opportunity to, you know, train with a like-minded bunch of people who are here to, you know, train hard, but, you know, a real friendly bunch.
Time, walking around, catch your breath, guys. Get a breather.
I've been involved. I started here about, I think it's about 3.5 years ago now, so I've been here quite a while, you know, and just the atmosphere down here is really good to train in. Best place I've trained in anyway, and we're all kind of a close kind of set of guys as well, and girls, so yeah, so we all get along really well, so it's nice to go out as a team and celebrate like the anniversary as well as the year that we've had in fighting. I mean, all those guys here really appreciate the help and what they do for us, so yeah, really good set of guys.
The special thing about Full Kazan is everyone just basically meshes well together as a family. We don't just come down and just train and beat each other's heads in. Do you know what I mean? We just, you know, we see each other in and out of the gym. You know, if we've got problems, personal problems as well. Do you know what I mean? We can, you know, we help each other out and stuff. And you know, it's a family. It's turned to a family to me. It's been really a really good experience for me. You know, meeting Matt Spencer and stuff. And he's guided me through not just the gym but through life as well. Do you know what I mean? He's helped me out through loads of hard situations and stuff, and guiding through things, and then we're just getting stronger and stronger every year, and we're just getting really busy and stuff. We get new guys coming in, and they're improving. All the guys they're improving. Everyone's getting involved in the mix and stuff. And
I started fighting in about 2004. I had a couple of amateur fights, and then I fought semi-professionally 3 times, and I turned pro in 2006, I think it was. I think part of being a team which looks after each other and where we all help each other to develop means that I wanted to put something back into the team by teaching whenever I could. It worked. It helped with me working around my job, and times when I was injured and able to train myself to fight myself, I'll try and do a bit of coaching as well. One of the most important parts of progressing as a fighter or as an athlete or as a martial artist is having a place to train where you want to come down and train, and it's not something where you have to drag yourself off the sofa to go and force yourself to do the work. I think if you enjoy the training and the people you train with and the atmosphere at the gym, then you're much more likely to stick at it and develop as a fighter or as a martial artist. And I think for me, the environment around Full Kazan, the other fighters, the coaches, the atmosphere just means that it's somewhere where I've always wanted to come back to, and it's never seemed like work. It's always seemed like a fun place to be, and it's like having your family around you to train with.
Outside of work and my own family, it's just Full Kazan. It's my social life, it's my training, it's my friends. I don't hardly have many friends outside of training now, to be honest. It's like your friends, your training partners, and it's like a family as well. It's just much more tight-knit guys, you know, you're training together, and you have to have that trust with each other anyway who you're training with, because of the type of training you're doing. You know, someone's got you in a chokehold or a bit more pressure on your arm here or there, and you've got a broken arm, so you've got to be able to trust people that they're going to let go when you tap out.
I think what we've got now is we've got a lot of younger people starting to train in mixed martial arts who are getting that discipline, and it's going to be an exciting time in the next sort of 2 or 3 years. It's something that I've done myself. I probably didn't do it the right way, especially early on, where I literally trained for a year and had my first pro fight in Italy at the Coliseum, which was, in hindsight, if one of my fighters said I want to go do this, it'd be a straight no, because you need to develop and stuff like that. But when I first started fighting, it was pretty much that was the only fight available for a 6-month period, so I took it. I can't believe it's 10 years. It's certainly flown. I really like where we are now. There's been some tough times. Sometimes where I've considered moving away from the sport and leaving it. It's one of those things that I think anything worthwhile, you need to go through that pain. It is going to hurt, and you've just got to believe in what you want, and stick to your guns and just keep doing it.
I'm 100% dedicated to whatever Mark's doing. I'd be 100% loyal to whatever he did with it and stay with him because he's been good to me. He's one of the most honest people I know, most trustworthy. I've got a small circle of trust, been let down over the years, and Mark's definitely in that small circle. And Marie.
Just come and have a look. You can just watch a session. Everyone's friendly. Everyone's happy to help. So yeah, just bite the bullet and go for it.
This place is everything to me. The team, the coaches. This is where I spend my social time. This is where I spend my, my work time. It's everything to me. From kind of the size of the gym and where we are at the moment, I'm really pleased. But I just want to help develop it and just keep going forward.